All right, let's settle down, settle down, settle down. Lord have mercy. This young lady, our guest speaker today, she's no stranger to some of us. Some of you are new to this call. Some of you got brand new IBOs on. We're excited about having her on here today. And I tell you what, she is a traditional business owner. She's a mother. She's a wife to my good friend Brad. She volunteers at our community center. She serves the Chamber of Commerce on the board of directors. She takes care of her dad now, and she made regional vice president in less than 3.5 years. Ladies and gentlemen, we give a warm welcome straight out of Lake Tahoe, back down the hill to north of Sacramento, regional vice president, Miss Keri Roeder.
Good morning, Mr. Thomas. Well, this one's a little different. I'm living the Mr. Al Thomas lifestyle. So I'm going to share with you, for all of you, my story, because how many of us would agree, by a show of hands, how many of us would love to be able to live the Mr. Thomas lifestyle, where you can just do what you want, where you want, whatever, whom you want? How many of us want that lifestyle? Okay, so I'm actually in the middle of living this lifestyle. So for all of you who you named Nashville, Tennessee, that's where I am, actually. So for those of you who are in Tahoe, you know that I'm always there, and I usually train and all that good privilege stuff. Well, what ended up happening this time was my husband and I have always wanted to go to an SEC football game. And it's a long story short, we ended up being able to go to one with a group of friends, and he didn't know I had Tahoe on the book. So he already planned it the whole bit. So we ended up flying into Memphis last week and spent a couple nights there, and then drove into Oxford, Mississippi, went to the, thank you, Catherine, went to the football game, which was amazing. Spent a couple nights there, then drove back to Memphis and checked into our flight on Southwest, and our friends were like, you know what? Let's extend our vacation and go up to Tennessee. And so we're like, okay. So we rearranged our flight and came up to Tennessee, and here we are hanging out. We just pulled into the Grand Ole Opry. They jumped out of the truck so I could do this call and meet up with them. And it's just fun to be able to literally just be on vacation and decide, let's stay. Let's like rearrange our day, and it's just amazing. So I'm living the Mr. Al Thomas lifestyle right now, and it is blissful. Everybody will tell you it's absolutely amazing. So I asked Mr. Thomas what he wanted me to speak about today, and it's interesting. I kind of clicked onto my phone, and I don't know if you all know about angel numbers, but when I clicked on my phone, the angel numbers were 11141. And that means to be optimistic and to make wishes. And so that's what I want for all of you, is I want you all to be optimistic about your ACN opportunity, no matter where you are in your progress. But as you said, do the work so that you can end up having the Mr. Thomas lifestyle that I know we always talk about, because Mr. Al Thomas is one of the most amazing, loving, successful, giving, tremendous leaders that we have in all of ACN. And so his generosity is just tremendous. So, okay. So I have the privilege of being able to hug a lot of you, meet a lot of you when we were just in Florida. Yeah, Florida. And I really was just taken by that I get to meet the group in Japan, and a lot of you were like, oh my God, love your energy, and as I was thinking about this call, and I was thinking about how beautiful it was for me to be able to meet many of you in person and hug you and go from the little tiny screens we see to being in person. And I have some coaching for you. Years ago, when I first got started, we flew out, Mr. Aaron Birch, Sacramento, to do an event. We, as in the people, like there, right? The leaders, the time they were organizing the Sacramento area. And I was thanking Mr. Aaron Birch for coming out and doing all that. And he looked at me, and he called me Roeder. He's like, listen, Roeder. He goes, here's the thing. He goes, thank you for saying that. He goes, but here's when you know you're creating success is when other people ask you to do events for them and their team. And I remember that moment, and I've never forgotten it. And I set myself a goal to make sure that I could create success to be asked to do other people's events. And so that that's just a suggestion for all of you, because anytime that Mr. Al Thomas asked me to do these calls, and it's truly an honor and a privilege to be able to share my 13 years of experience in doing ACN and being able to just kind of walk people through a journey. And I always tell everybody, this is your journey. And I know some of you are new on this call, and congratulations, welcome. You could not be working with a better team, honestly. And for those of you, so work hard, like go fast. Going faster is so much easier and more fun and more lucrative than going slow. So for those of you who are new on this call, go fast. For those of you who are on this call who've been around for a minute, no worries. This is your journey. And when you do the work it takes to have the success that is you desire, and you are crossing the stage at our international events, and you are being recognized for your success, and when you are hugging everybody, when you hug Mr. Raskin, and then Mr. Kane, and then Angela, and then Mr. Kupit, and when you get to Mr. Provenzano, when he says to you, he doesn't always say, he points to the podium, and then that is your indication, please speak. When Mr. Provenzano gives you an opportunity to speak at the podium, and or when you hit your regional vice president promotion and you have your 7 minutes to speak at the podium, your story is going to be incredibly powerful for those other people who've been around for a minute, who never gave up, who just kept putting one foot in front of the other, do the work in order to create the success you're looking for. Like he was saying, what, 65 days? You only 2 events, you guys didn't get people signed up? That's incredible. So when you do the work, I think it was Amanda had 20 leads. When you do the work that it takes, you will achieve what it is you're looking to achieve. And that's really ultimately what we're all here to do, right? We're here to have choices in our lives. And now I get it. Not everybody wants the Mr. Thomas lifestyle. I get that. Some people are here just to, pay for your kids' sports, right? Because when you do club sports, it's super expensive, or pay for college, or retire somebody you love, or just take that stress off of knowing you can pay your utilities every month. Whatever it is that you are going for, put your focus in there and do the equivalent work in order to accomplish what it is you're looking to accomplish. Okay, so it being the holidays, I want to talk about the holiday season. With the holiday season being here, because it's here, one of the tips I have for you in customer retention, okay? Because again, once we get to that 200 points and we're making the 20% and we're getting paid down all we can in our overriding residual income before you hit regional vice president, you want to retain customers. So we acquire customers based on relationship, right? And our retention is also based on relationship. And so one of my things that I started years ago is, you know how during the December holidays, right? The Christmas holidays, that's when a lot of people just like businesses flood you with cards and they flood you with cookies and all that stuff, right? What I do is I make Thanksgiving baskets. And you don't have to put a lot of money into them, but I like to make them pretty. And so I will put some like pumpkins or, cute little fall little decorations, 2 or 3 of them. And then I do put some candy in there, some cookies, packets of cookies or whatever. And then I wrap it up all nice and with a bow and a little tag, says thank you. But here's what else I do. I take a picture of our family, my husband and our daughter, and I print it out. And, when you go to print them out, you can actually write on them when you print them. So I say, thank you, love the Roeders, and I put the year. And then I handwrite on the back of each of them, thank you for continuing to support us. because of your continued support. And then I fill them in on whatever, for us, it's our daughter, why we do ACN. So I fill them in on what their support has done. And so this year, I was able to let them know that Mackenzie, was now living in Santa Barbara in a beach house, going to college. And it's because of their support that we're able to, to be able to do that, to be able to take our ACN money and just turn it straight over to living in a beach house. So, but so however you want to personalize it, but here's what I find. Oh, and then I drive around and I hand deliver them. And then my customers that are my business owners, I take a picture of them with my basket, and then I post it and I tag them on my social media and I promote their business. But see, psychologically, I'm actually also promoting mine. So I have a girlfriend who's a mortgage broker, and she's been my only mortgage broker this whole time. She's the only person I ever promote. But when I give her basket, I get on there and I tag her and I say, thank you, Troya Smith Myers, for continuing to support us and being our customer. She's a lot of customers. And then I say something great about her. And so what people see on my post is that I'm promoting my customer, but people are also unconsciously seeing that they're my customer. So there's multiple ways you can do this, but I do it during November because Thanksgiving. November is the month to give thanks, right? So when I give my customers their baskets, I tell them, thank you, because yes, the holidays are all important and all of that, but if Thanksgiving is a time that you give thanks, and we are thankful for our customers' continued support, because that's how we build our residual income. So eventually you can have either the Mr. Thomas lifestyle, or know that you can pay your utilities, or everything in between. This is just a great way that I have found that my customers get so excited, and I retain my customers, because our customers are constantly being approached to save money in the areas in which they are your customer. You know how Mr. P always tells a story about how when they first got started, and they would, a customer would sign up for ACN, and how many times, can you guys guess how many times they would send, checks to a customer if you signed the back? How many times the customers were stolen? And he says 100%, right? So we'd have to go back and get the customer. Well, now it's easier to retain our customers, and that added layer of just giving. And again, it doesn't have to be expensive. I'm not saying it has to be expensive. It could be one item wrapped. By the way, the wrapping, I go to the dollar store. Okay, I go to the dollar store and I get the cool little wrapping and the ribbon. It's just, when you do something out of your heart, it's kind of like when we do get gifts from children, right? And it's something they handmade. For me, those have more value than something store bought, because there was just so much emotion and all of that put behind. So when you create your basket or a card or whatever it is you're going to do, if you, as you're doing it, if you're actually putting in that emotion of gratitude, like I actually cry sometimes when I'm writing out my cards, because I am so grateful for my customers. So when you have that emotion while you're creating these Thanksgiving baskets or whatever it is you're going to do, and then you go hand deliver them and you hug your customer and you look them in the eye and say, thank you for continuing to support us. Here's why. I'm telling you right now, we retain our customers based on the relationship and not based on savings, you guys. And they appreciate it, or at least my customers do. So during the holiday season, that's this week's tip on how to build your ACN business during the holiday season. And I get the privilege of talking every Tuesday in the month of November. So we're going to continue to talk about what to do and how to build your business in the month of the holiday season. So for all of you in the Nashville area, I'm here and I'm recruiting. I'm vacationing, but I'm recruiting. So you might want to get on it and put more people in front of Mr. Thomas, because wouldn't that be a bummer if I'm in your town and I recruit somebody and they get started and you happen to know them? Oh, that'd be fun for me. Anyway, Mr. Thomas, I'm going to call back to you. As all of you know, I love Mr. Thomas. So does Brad. He says hi when he was walking out. Roeder says hi. but I told you this 2 months ago when I talked. Use the man. He's a tool. He's one of your best tools you have. And so use the man. I know that I do. So use the man, let him help you build your business. You just have to use him. So he's just tremendous, as you all know. That the edification of Mr. Thomas is so simple because he is so amazing. But do make sure when you use him as your tool that you are properly edifying him, using all the personality traits and all the qualities and all his successes that he has. And when you do, you're going to find, like the other people on this call who are using him, you'll end up finding the success that it is you're looking for. So thank you again for the privilege of being able to talk this month. I'm super excited. Again, thank you everybody who came up to me and found me in Florida. That was just so wonderful. And here's what I want for all of you. I want you to find success so that when you're walking around at different conventions, people walk up to you and say they're excited to meet you because they learned from you, or whatever reason, or you inspired them. That is the ultimate goal, is that you do the work that it takes and that you inspire other people as well. And then you'll be able to accomplish what it is you're looking for. So I'm going to turn the call back to you, Mr. Thomas. Thank you very much.